Today's video, we're going to talk about why do new campaigns on Google Ads take so long to start working? Everybody wants to know why their campaigns aren't working, and most of the time, the answer that I have for them is you simply did not wait long enough to get to the promised land with that campaign you're trying to run for your business. And naturally, anything in life that's worth anything you would actually want isn't going to come easy. Otherwise, everybody else would do it already, especially anything that having to do with money. The time it takes to get your campaigns working is not days, not weeks. Generally, unless you have something that's super hot selling, very low competition, it's months, if not years. Yes, you may fell over and said years. Yes. If you're in a hyper-competitive market where there's big money at stake, where you and there's basically anybody could get into your business overnight, it could take years before that damn campaign breaks even. And also depending on how much money you have to throw at it right away. Anything that can make millions of dollars is not going to take $500 to get into, obviously. I'm going to put all that in a frame of reference here, why it takes so long for new campaigns to get working. And there's multiple factors, including Google being biased against new campaigns. They're biased against new advertisers. Conversion data is important. You got to have a certain amount of conversion data and testing of your ads before they can work. And when I say testing, Google's system and the machine learning systems testing and more. I'll go over all these factors so you can put it into perspective if you even want to play this game to begin with. Because maybe you just say, there's other ways I can make money sooner than what I can do through Google Ads right now, and I'll come back to it later. So I'll go over all these details, but one big thing you should know right off the bat before we get into it is it takes time and you have to build up a history with Google in order to get good results. Because they're going to treat any new advertiser like a second-class citizen. And if you want to actually make money, you got to prove to them you're not your everyday average Joe. You're a serious player. And I'll explain exactly why that is in a moment. I'm Corey Ziman, owner of Guarantee PPC, an online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results for their clients. That is to hit a certain minimum lift in profitability from their ads up front before taking management fees, or a certain minimum amount of profitability on any new campaign that we're going to work on for a client. We don't take on just any client. No other agency does offer a guarantee on their services either, which you should already, from what I tell you, be able to rely on the information that I'm about to share with you on this video here today. So with that said, if you, by the way, stayed at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you specifically a case study where basically, I could tell you just how much it matters, as I was mentioning a moment ago, how your reputation with Google is going to affect how much money you're making and how much more you can actually make once they see you as a hot player. Understand just what and who they're dealing with and how much more money can be made once you get on Google's good side here. Not months into the process, but years into the process. And how much that actually affects how much you're going to make overall in your business running these ads. So with that said though, starting with some other stuff, new campaigns you start up in your aged Google account get credit for what you have done in that account before. So in other words, account age matters in terms of how fast any new campaign gets started up. The reality is, Google is going to make a judgment call on a new campaign you have based upon everything you've done in the past in that ad account, which is why it's important not to just do whatever the fuck you feel like in your ad account. It's going to harm anything you do in the future. Same thing with, hiring bogus people that may seem cheap. $500 a month PPC services that are going to take on all the work of managing this account, and they just don't know that how to start up a business themselves, which anybody that's great at advertising and marketing can start up their own business and not have to charge tiny amounts of money for PPC services. With that said, they can really damage your reputation with Google, and that's going to make it extremely hard to get things done in the future, or at least waste a bunch of your time. Everything you do in your account, if it is quality and it's done with intention, not random intention, you will actually build up your capability to make money with your account over time through building up your reputation. Just like your reputation in business matters. It gets easier and easier in business to make money because people know who you are. Google does the same exact. They want to know who's the serious players, who's not, who knows how to advertise, knows how to make ads, who knows how to make a good website. And they're going to treat one person that comes to them with money very differently than another. Assume everybody's money's green. And the reason for this is because they need people to want to trust ads. If they just let anybody with air in their lungs and cash in their pocket to advertise aggressively on their platform, people would start actively avoiding ads completely. Then naturally, they're going to lose money. So they have their reputation with the customer to think about. And so if you're going to help, if you want to make money, you got to help Google make money and think about it from their perspective, which is, I can tell you for a fact, more than anything else, they want their customers to rely on Google and rely on the ads specifically. So with that said, the age of the campaign does matter. The longer you run a campaign, the more you could expect from it, which is why it takes so long for campaigns to start working. Just through advertising that campaign longer, you're going to be able to show to Google that you're a good advertiser. If you've done all the work that I talk about on this channel that makes a difference to make a good campaign versus a poor campaign, so that you have better click-through rates than your competition, better conversion rates than your competition in terms of optimizing your website or landing page, you're going to move to the top of the list of what Google's favorites in your market. Then they're going to roll out the red carpet for you. They're going to charge you way less per click. We're talking about 80% less per click from your starting point, at least. They're going to send you a higher quality user because when you advertise on certain keywords, they decide if you get to the traffic or the good portion of the traffic based upon how they view you, which is why your conversion rates going to go up over time if you've done the things I tell you to do on this channel to help you, Google's users, so they help you. But you could come up with the best ads and the best website / landing page in the world. Google's algorithm doesn't know you from anybody else at the beginning. So you got to go through the process of running your ads at a loss a while. The more competitive your market, the longer it's going to take, honestly. And the more your cost per click is in your market, the longer it's going to take because you can only afford to spend so much money on your ads at the beginning, and that might only get you 50 clicks a month, which is its own factor. You need to get so many clicks with your right ad, your right landing page that can beat your competition in terms of click-through rates and conversion rates. Then Google's going to be able to give you all these benefits, okay? That could take 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 10. Sometimes it takes over a year with some of our clients, depending on how competitive a market it is. One market of which I could tell you where it took more than a year was in the standing desk market. There's 20 plus people selling standing desks. Pretty much everybody that knows that sells a standing desk, the only way you can sell it is running your ad on Google. Because even if you were to advertise it in a catalog or whatever the hell, it's not going to work that great because as soon as somebody gets the idea to buy a standing desk, they're going to go to Google. I wonder what else I can get in terms of pricing and features. And you're going to end up just pay to give someone an idea at the end of the day. So it's either that or it's going to be influencer marketing. But even that it's the same thing. If you're going to buy a standing desk, why do I at least check the other options I have out? And so everybody who sells that knows Google has to work. And they all have a lot of money invested in stock and designs and patents and whatnot. And there's big players that have big money that sell these desks. So it takes a long time of advertising at least at a small budget. Yeah, sure, if you have $50,000 a month, throw out the ads right away, you can get your results in 3 months. But if you don't, it can take 18 months just to hit baseline profitability with what you're doing, which I know you might be saying like, oh, there's no way. The more money that there is in it, I'll just tell you as a whole, the longer it's going to take as well, because there's more at stake. If you can make $1 million a year in profit getting an ad campaign to work in your market, you can damn well bet it ain't going to take no 2 weeks for the ad campaign to be profitable. It's all relative. But if you think about from the big picture side of things, and you realize that your campaign, once you scale it up in year 5, what you make per month is going to pay for the entire first 9 months of running your campaign under the loss, then you can succeed. You're not going to be so, worried about what you're not making at the beginning and what you're losing at the beginning. Back to the topic at hand here, you can't expect your campaign to work because what Google charges you when you start out isn't what you get charged later on. Ultimately, that's the difference between making money and not making money in, a good chunk of the markets. Not only that, but the more important thing is the conversion rates on the traffic you get. Given that Google's going to send the person that they know is most statistically likely to convert into being a customer from within the keyword traffic you have, they sub-segment the traffic on the keywords that you want to target, find the buyers versus the non-buyers, put your ad in front of the non-buyers more so at the beginning, which you get lower conversion rates as a result, and it's extremely hard to make money. The only way you make money is you get to the other side of that, and they're going to set your ad up to be shown for the people who are likely to buy. And they know who's likely to buy because they have machine learning algorithms. They know everything anybody ever done on Google in the last 20 years, what websites they visited, what they've bought, on and on and on and on. What you're really doing is paying to get a reputation with Google at the beginning if you expect to make money. This is why it takes so long. Your competition that you're up against most of the time have run their ads for years already. You think you're going to show up here and kick some guy out of the way that's been advertising for 4 or 5 years so easily? He's got all the advantage of having all the conversion data built up in his account over years to know exactly what portion of the traffic for the keywords that you both want to show up for that's worth bidding on and what's not. So he, guess what, can afford to pay more per click than you and still be at a profit because you have to pay less because you're less efficient, and as a result of that, you're eligible for less of the traffic. And because you're bid lower, the click that is worth more, you get outbid for it, but they know it's worth more because they've been advertising longer and know that particular click's worth more because they saw a guy like that before convert, and therefore they're willing to pay more for this click. There's a lot to be considered here, but the main things you can break it down to is your reputation right off the bat, because 90% of people who start advertising are advertisers that try to spend 20 minutes setting up their campaign and they're done, and they expect to be ultra rich from that activity right there. The other thing is you have no data advantage over the competitor who's been running their ads for years already. And the longer you advertise, the more reputation you can build up with them, so you aren't treated like a crap, and the more you learn what the other guy that's been advertising a long time knows about the market already. So that's why campaigns take so long to work. That's not a big thing to mention there. So those two things I just mentioned, your reputation with Google in terms of your campaign there, how Google views you, therefore how they're going to treat you, how much they're going to charge you, what portion of the traffic you're going to get, the stuff that converts well, the stuff that doesn't convert well, and the data advantage the competitor has over you. There's a third main factor to consider here why campaigns take so long to work, which is your account level reputation, your reputation as an advertiser as a whole, okay? So you have a reputation on the campaign level, what that campaign, how Google sees you have set up that campaign, but also how you look as an advertiser as a whole. And if you have a good history in your account of running good campaigns, a new campaign you have will work fairly quickly. Whereas if you have no reputation, they assume you're like the 90% of people who advertise for a couple months, don't get what they want right away, and cry and run away like a baby. How does my competitor make it work? Once they know you're not a baby and you're a man and you're going to make things work better than your competition, you're going to work so off to be able to do it, then they're going to treat you like such with any new campaign that you run. Okay, since there's a reputation on the account level and then there's reputation on the campaign level, how much of the reputation affects how long it's going to take for a campaign to scale up based upon those two levels of reputation? In other words, how long is it going to take a campaign to scale up? I have a great account level reputation, but a poor campaign level reputation because I've started the campaign. How long is it going to take me to get to profitability with this new campaign I'm launching? I can tell you for a fact, your account age matters a lot. Okay, what's a lot? 80% of how fast you're going to be able to get to profitability with your new campaign is going to be predicated on your account age, and 20% of it's going to be of what you have. How quickly it scales is going to be the campaign age. Another way to put this in simple terms, it's going to take you 5 times as long to hit profitability with your campaign on an aged account that's been running 10 years and has had a great history than not having that and it's in a brand spanking new account. So whereas it can take 3 months to hit profitability on an aged account, it can easily take you 15 months if that account's brand new. It matters that much, okay? So at any given time on a campaign that's fairly new, 20% of it's predicated on the campaign itself. 80% of it's still what you got is predicated on the account age. How do we know this? Because we've actually taken ads out of an aged account, put them into a new account, same exact settings. The results were absolutely freaking garbage in the new account. And then once I saw that for myself, a good 8 years ago, I knew how much already this account age matters, which they don't publish anything about account age or reputation in Google's documentation anywhere. I just know it matters. If you have any questions about, how long things should take in your market, because every market, like I said, depending on the level of competition you have, will affect how long it's going to take to run your ads at a loss before they hit profitability. Leave me a comment in the comment section. I'll gladly get back to you. Or you can reach out to me at my firm at guaranteedppc.com. I could tell you how much your campaigns will make, profit-wise, what we could guarantee for you if you wish to work with us at our firm. We also, if we've worked in your niche market before, we could tell you how much we would sell our ad templates that work to sell whatever you are selling and can copy paste the ads, the campaigns, the landing page templates we have to sell it into your ad account. So if we've already worked in your niche market, and we've worked in over 100 niche markets before, you do yourself a huge favor asking us what results we got in your niche market before. And then if we've gotten a lot better results than you're getting now, just buy our template from us and copy paste it into your account. We've got many people that have done exactly this. I don't know why agencies don't sell ad templates. Maybe they don't, they want fully managed client services clients. I don't know. But a lot of people I recognize don't want somebody to manage their campaign. They want to manage their own investment. And that's cool. However, if we've already spent years figuring out the perfect ad, the perfect landing page in your space, or practically thereof, why the hell would you want to figure all that out for yourself as well when we already did it before? You're not going to save money figuring it out for yourself by any means. There's no freaking way you're going to get it done cheaper than what we sell the template for. At the very least, you should reach out to us and find out what results we got in your niche market and what you stand to gain or lose if you want to look at it that way. We got people that buy these templates to start whole other businesses from scratch. You could be totally clueless about e-commerce, start with one of our templates that we know sells an item very, very well that you can get from China in a country that our client isn't in, and have turnkey basic results with it once the ads get spooled up and Google sees that you're a great advertiser like we were talking about in today's video. We got people that use like home services campaign templates that we have to generate plumbing leads. They answer the phone, they act like they're a plumber, then they subcontract the work out to somebody else and take a slice off the top, which is a great business model, by the way. Anyway, if you're interested in any of those other templates, like I said, we got templates in over 100 niche markets because we've been in business over 10 years now running Guaranteed PPC. You can reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com as well to learn about what markets we're in or have been in and what results we got thereof. Going back to the topic at hand here. So, I just talked about templates. Literally speaking, you could take we could have an account that makes $10 million a year in revenue and $2 million a year in profit. You copy the exact settings and everything in that campaign and swap it to a new account, it won't even make a profit. And the revenue will be $500,000 the first year. The reason for that is because you still got to build up a reputation with Google for them to give you, like I was mentioning before, a low cost per click, high quality clicks. And you can't avoid it. You can bitch and complain and moan and whine all you want about it, but if you want that damn money, you're gonna have to make an investment at the beginning to prove to them you're not the average douchebag coming to the table with advertising and expecting it to work anyway, because I expect it to work. I shouldn't have to work very hard to get it. We're in today's world, it's not 1980 anymore, where you can just run a business and be clueless about advertising and get to work. It's mostly every business is predicated on how good of an advertiser you are. The person who runs your ad successfully is going to make what you make as a business owner, and if they're not making that, they're going to work for somebody else. The quicker you realize that, the faster you'll get to the end goal you want, or you're going to have to work studying the content on this channel to learn how it's done, which, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to this channel and you want to actually do that, you absolutely will get all the information you need on how to build campaigns in a way that will always beat your competition, so you get treated well by Google. And that's because I spend 40 hours a week doing ad strategy at our firm and have been doing it for the last 10 plus years now to give you the information about what really works running ads on Google and Facebook and all these other places. So you should subscribe. All the other channels you basically see on YouTube is people that are trying to make money on courses or ads. They ain't running no ads. They don't know, can't teach you anything. So just telling you up front. I got a blog that I keep on my site as well. You should also check out if you like the video content. My blog is at guaranteedppc.com/blog. Blog has actual step-by-step instructions on the strategies we're using to guarantee results for clients at our firm. You should definitely check that out as well if you like the video content already. But with the template, we had a company selling printer toner, okay? To tell you the actual niche market we're talking about here. All the ads and everything else from that market, we copy pasted it into another ad account, and the type of numbers that I was talking about before is what actually happened. Ads themselves, after running this ad account for 10 years already, was generating close to $10 million a year in revenue. Between that and also a Microsoft ad account that they also had running. But basically all their customers were coming off that and some organic rankings, okay? Of which like 20% of their sales are coming from organic rankings, 80% or thereof is coming from the ad. So they're making close to $7-8 million a year just running Google ads and Microsoft ads successfully for their business, of which $1 million of that came from Microsoft. So if you want to say $6 million a year was being made from the Google ads and the setup that they had been slowly building up over the 10 years of running ads in that account. So with that said, we had reasons to run a second ad in that market, which a lot of people try to do. And with that, I found this out 8 years ago the hard way, expecting the ads to not be, great at the beginning, but should be profitable right out the gate because we already know the ads and the landing pages and all that work for this. It's not what happened. We went ahead and turned on the campaigns. They are not even making a profit when we turned on the ads. Started out with a $3,000 a month budget roughly. How long do you think it took before the ads even broke even? And when I say break even, we're talking about at least 3.5 to 1 ROI. That is $3.50 in sales revenue to every dollar of ad spend just to be able to be profitable. How long do you think that basically took? With the exact settings that are generating $6 million a year in sales revenue, and as a result of that, about $1 million a year in profit. How long do you think that this took? Get to where we were at least breaking even, getting a 350% ROI. Took 6 months just to get to the break-even point once we turned on the ads. Now, that's not too bad if you really are just pragmatic like I am. You just understand how the system works, and it's worth doing still. But it shows you the strategy you're using itself isn't everything. It's very little of anything when you're starting out with a brand spanking new account. On top of it, brand spanking new campaigns. No, as per the topic of this video, why is it taking so long for your campaigns to work? If you have been advertising close to a decade and you got some strong competitors who have, you got a lot of ground to cover between you and them when you just are fresh and new and green with your ads. No matter how good they are, no matter how much you study what I talk about on this channel, that'll crush them in terms of the click-through rate you're getting on your ads and the conversion rate on the traffic you're getting, which is what you need to be able to do to be able to for sure make money in what you're doing in your market. Or you can look at it from the standpoint that it's your advantage once the ads actually work. You've created a moat around your business. New guys that come in that are just totally clueless will just expect the ads to work right away, and when they don't a month in, they're gonna quit. I'm sure you probably have seen this if you've been in business for a while and you advertise for a while. There'll be a new guy comes in, he's gone 3 months later. A few months later, another new guy comes in. He's gone in 6 months. Another couple months go by, another new guy comes in. He's there for 2 months. And this just happens again and again and again and again. And that's just reality, which is why Google's not in the wrong of not treating these people that are likely not going to be lasting very long and give them push the guys that have been there for 10 years out of the way. Why would they do that? They're only going to do that if they think that your ads are actually better than his. And so they will give you just enough good traffic, test you out a little bit, maybe 5% of the good traffic. And if you do phenomenal on that 5%, then maybe you get 10, and then eventually you get 15, and then 20. But it takes years to build up to where you're getting a majority of the good quality traffic. Just know that is the game you're playing going in. If you want to know how long it's going to be to hit profitability, I do 8-quarter projections for my clients. I'd be more than happy to do one for you and do some coaching and consulting. I've been starting to do coaching at our firm. We can do a 30-minute coaching call or session or 60 minutes, whatever. And I'll actually look at your setup, I'll look at your website. I'll tell you if you're even going to be able to make money with what you're doing. I've been doing this hundreds of times now in the last, not just 10 years of running this firm, but 20 years of running campaigns and for businesses I ran and so forth. I could pretty much tell you just a look of the website and the competition and their website quality and what you're doing and what you're selling it at, is the campaign likely to even work after you've spent the months, if not years, to build up the history of your account and your campaigns to even be profitable? That is, are you competitive? Are you doing better than them? In my opinion, either you do it all the way and you're at least in the top 20 percentile in terms of strategy, in terms of click-through rate on your ad, conversion rate on your landing pages, or you just don't even do it, because there's really the top 20% are making 80% of the profit. They are. And that's what Google wants. There's 4 ads at the top of Google, but there's, in competitive markets, 15 people cycling in and out of those 4 spots, of which they don't give a rat's ass about more than 70% of them, because they only need 2 or 3 good guys to be there consistently, and they want those guys to be there consistently because they want users who click the ads to get a great experience. And why would you promote the guy who gets the less good experience to their users when you could just promote consistently the guy that gets the best experience to their users? You can't blame them for doing that. You don't want to use Google and get somebody website hosted up to you. served up to you, then why do you have the expectation to just barely try with your website? When I say barely try, it's not what you think is a good website. It's what the consumer thinks. Unless you've made many websites and and forced to make the websites profitable with ad traffic over and over again, you probably don't know for sure if your website's actually going to convert better than your competition's. You need some professional advice to just know, which is why it's worth it before you go ahead and you waste tens of thousands of dollars in ad spend to ask me one time if your website looks like it's going to be better than theirs, which that may sound like arrogance. I've worked with hundreds of businesses now. I know what kind of websites work and don't work. So you can go ahead and spend the money on ads and just be totally wishful and assume everything's going to be great. Cool. Find out just through trial and error, or you can just get 30 minutes of advice. Stop what you were going to do with your ads, make your website better or whatever you need that you're lacking on in terms of pricing strategy, whatever, then advertise and have it be 90% likely to work at the end of the day. Because like I said, if your ad's better, your landing page is better, or your site's better, you get better click-through rates and conversion rates than your competition. Google wants to lay it on thick for you. They want to roll out the freaking red carpet for you. You got to know if you got it, if it's actually better. You can't just guess and hope and expect it and wish it to be better. It's actually got to be better. So with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.
Remember when I said ad campaign was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it